Hello Ka-Edu! Here is the first topic on the categories of children and adolescent literature. What are the various forms of poetry? This includes the following. A couplet is a poem or stanza in a poem written in 2 lines and usually rhymes. A tercet is a poem or stanza written in 3 lines. The lines usually rhymes whether from lines 1 and 2 or lines 1 and 3. A quatrain is a poem or stanza written in 4 lines and can be written in variety of rhyming patterns. The quatrain is the most common form of stanza used in poetry. In an acrostic poem, the first letter of each line spells the subject of the poem. It is a type of free verse poem. A haiku is a Japanese poem of 17 syllables with 3 lines and pattern of 5, 7, and 5 syllables. Although the lines do not rhyme, the themes are aspects of nature or the seasons and captures a moment in time. A senryu has a total of 17 syllables and follows the same pattern like the haiku. It is written in 3 unrhymed lines of 5, 7, and 5 syllables. Most of its themes are about human nature rather than the natural world. A concrete poem, also called shape poem, is written in the shape of its subject. Although it does not rhyme, the arrangement of the words is important to its meaning. A free verse poem does not use rhymes or patterns. It can vary freely in length of lines, stanzas, and subjects. A limerick is a funny poem of 5 lines and is considered to be a kind of nonsense poem. Some lines may rhyme and some may not. The language of poetry. Poetry uses language in many different ways. By noticing the techniques poets use with language, it becomes easier to understand and talk about a poem. Using some of these language techniques to emphasize certain ideas, themes, or images. Imagery. Imagery is a simple word used to describe the types of images a poet uses throughout the poem. Images are references to a single mental creation. They are the verbal representation of a sense impression. However, there are many different types of imagery that can be used. Appeals to the 5 senses: smell, sight, hearing, taste, and touch. Visual images: sight. Tactile images: touch. Auditory images: sounds. Gustatory images: tastes. Olfactory images: smells. Diction. Formal diction. Words that appear a bit more elegant or extravagant. Often formal diction will contain words that are polysyllabic or many syllables. Neutral diction. Words that appear ordinary and that you hear every day. Contractions are often used in poetry that has neutral diction as well as a simpler vocabulary. Informal diction. Words and phrases that are slang expressions or the colloquial. the language of relaxed activities and friendly conversations. Techniques and devices. There are many other tools that poets use to achieve a certain sound or rhythm. Alliteration, the repetition of a consonant sound in the beginning of words that are found close together in a line. Assonance, the repetition of similar vowel sounds in words that are close to each other in a line. Consonants, the repetition of identical consonant sounds but different vowel sounds found close together in a line. Cacophony, the opposite of euphony, when the sounds of words in a line create a discordant or jarring effect when heard. Onomatopoeia, words that imitate a sound, a verbal echo of the action being described, such as buzz, hum, slap. Figures of speech, an expression where certain words are arranged in a particular way to achieve a particular effect. The following are all different figures of speech commonly used in poetry. Metaphor, a comparison device where two things are compared directly. Something will be described as though it is actually something else. Simile, a comparison device where like or as is used as the clause. Apostrophe, words that are addressed to an absent or imaginary person, an object, or an abstract thought. Denotation, the precise definition of a word or the dictionary meaning. Connotation, all the meanings, definitions, or associations that a word suggests. Theme and tone. Theme is simply the overall message that the author is trying to convey. Sometimes there can be multiple themes and sometimes there is just one. Theme can be tricky to pick out in poems, but you are definitely familiar with theme already if you have read fables or stories that teach a lesson. Tone is how something is written. It is like the tone of voice that someone talks to you in. It is usually described as an emotion. Rhyme. A poem does not have to rhyme. However, rhyme can be an important part of poetry, and there are many different types of rhyme. Exact or perfect rhymes. Words that rhyme because both the concluding consonant and vowel sounds rhyme. Inexact or near rhymes. Words that rhyme because they have similar, not identical sounds like bleak break and loud bird. And rhymes. Words at the ends of lines that rhyme either exactly or inexactly. Internal rhymes. Words in the beginning or middle of a line that rhyme with each other either exactly or inexactly. Nursery rhymes. Mother Goose is often cited as the author of hundreds of children's stories that have been passed down through oral tradition and published over centuries. Her work is often published as Mother Goose Rhymes. Charles Perrault was the first to actually publish a Mother Goose collection of rhymes and other folktales in 1697, essentially initiating the fairy tale genre. With the subtitle Les Contes de ma Mère Roi, Tales of My Mother Goose, the collection quickly gained popularity all over France. By 1729, Perrault's collection had been translated into English in the form of Robert Samber's Histories or Tales of Pastimes Told by Mother Goose. Samber's volume was eventually republished in 1786 and brought to the U.S. English publisher of children's literature John Newbery later focused on the nursery rhymes, publishing Mother Goose's Melody or Sonnets for the Cradle, which helped Mother Goose become further associated with children's poetry. Nursery rhymes form an important part of our baby's cognitive development. The lyrics of these rhymes help your children to learn about alphabets, numbers, animals, and various day-to-day elements. Nursery rhymes are a great way of helping your baby to know and learn a language. Here are our examples.